Hi, this is Theo from PocketBlocks.com. In today's video, I'm going to answer a viewer's question where he or she asked me to recommend some affordable watercolor brushes. Before I start, I want to say something about pricing and affordability. I think pricing and affordability is a concept that is different to everyone because everyone's financial situation is different. Now, for today's video, when I talk about affordability, I'll be comparing brushes of the same size that differ in prices. I will talk about why they differ in prices. Is it because of the brand or the hair, and which are the better brushes, the brushes that are more worth the money to buy. So I'll talk about that. And here with me today is this box set I bought a few years ago. This is the Da Vinci box set 5240. I wanted to show this box set of brushes because there's a good mixture of brushes here. We have Sable, we have mixed hair, and here we have some synthetic, Squirrel and water brush. So today I have a good mixture of brushes here. Now, generally speaking, the cheaper brushes will be the synthetic brushes, and expensive brushes are those made with natural hair, animal hair. Those will be expensive. And the brushes that are somewhere in between in terms of affordability will be those synthetic mixture, synthetic imitation, and the mixed hair. So let's start with the cheap and really affordable brushes first. Now, the cheapest brush you can probably find in the art store will be those synthetic brushes. I have here with me two short handle brushes. These are considered short handle. This is a bit longer. These three are all synthetic brushes, so the bristles here are made of some sort of nylon. This is golden nylon. This is a Escoda brush with white bristles, but it has since been stained with watercolor. So let me show you the strokes that it can create. Now, these are very affordable, relatively speaking, compared to synthetic brushes. Relatively compared to Sable brushes. The thing with synthetic brushes is they do not hold as much water and they dry out rather quickly. So this means that they are better suited for detail work where you don't have to create large washes. So you can see this is a Perla brush, doesn't hold a lot of water. Another thing about synthetic brushes is even though they can hold water but not a lot, the main problem is they don't the way they release water is not very nice, in the sense that they tend to keep the water in the bristles and they don't release it that much, so you have to keep on reloading the brush. But other than that, I think they are pretty nice. You can actually get very sharp points from some of the synthetic brushes as well. So if you want affordable brushes, synthetic brushes is the way to go. I will not recommend any brands because any particular brand, because many manufacturers, they make all sorts of brushes. I think Da Vinci, they make their own synthetic brushes, natural hair brushes, mixed hair brushes. Escoda, a brush company from Spain, they also make synthetic, mixed hair, and also Sable brushes. So big companies, big brush companies, they make all sorts of brushes. And the pricing for the grades of brushes, if it's a Sable brush, the pricing of all the Sable brush between brands, they are relatively competitive. So those are the synthetic brush. I only have a few synthetic brush. And sometimes you may see this portable brush like this. Portable brush, they may come with natural hair or synthetic hair. It's basically the same version of brushes like this, but they are in portable version. The pricing for such brushes is slightly higher. So if you do not need the portability, then you can just get those normal wooden brush to save some money. But if you want to paint outdoors, then a portable brush, a collapsible brush like this is good. I have a lot of review for all the different brushes that I'm showing you today. It's all in the video description. I'll link that up for you. You can just click and read the individual reviews for more detailed review. The next thing I want to talk about is mixed hair brushes. So mixed hair brushes is the step up from the synthetic brushes because they have a mix of synthetic and mixed hair. This is a Da Vinci Petty Grease Mix, size 18, and this is a Cosmotop Mix F, and this is a Cosmotop Mix B. Let me check the description to see what hair is exactly inside this. Let's talk about this Cosmotop Mix B first. This is a brush with a mix of Kolinsky Red Sable, Russian Blue Squirrel, Russian Fitch, that's also called a Black Sable, along with a small amount of synthetic hair. So this is a mixture of 4 different types of hair. Let me dip it inside the water and show you the kind of point it can get. Because there are 4 different types of hair in this particular brush, it has characteristics of each hair. So with the Squirrel brush, it can hold a lot of water. With the Sable, it can achieve a sharp point. And with synthetic, it makes it a bit stiff, so it's good for detail if you want to. So it's a very good multi-purpose brush, if I were to say that. So this, by the way, is size 18, so it holds a generous amount of water and you can create flat wash very easily. By the way, you see all these spots because my paper is flat on the surface, so it doesn't flow properly. So this is a really nice brush, Cosmotop Mix B. I don't know the exact price, but if you were to buy mixed hair brushes like this, they are going to be cheaper because they have synthetic and a mixture of other hair. So if it has more sable hair, it's going to be more expensive. This is a good one. The Mix F is a nice brush as well. This is a mixture of red sable, ox hair, Russian Fitch, and some synthetic hair, which is quite similar to this brush here. Very nice, very soft, and it can taper back to the point. So this is quite good. And let's see what else we have here. So those would be the mixed hair brushes. Next, I want to talk about those imitation brushes, imitation hair brushes. Recently, Escoda company has made this brush, the Versatile line, which is a brush that tries to imitate sable hair, and it is quite good in that respect. Actually mimics them quite well at a fraction of the price. So between mixed hair and imitation hair, I think the Versatile line is quite good. It's quite worth the money. So let's move this and let me show you how the wash looks like. Now, one thing to note when buying brushes is the brush size. So this is a 1-inch brush, and if you are using watercolor pens like this, if you are using half pens, a big brush like this, it's not going to be, well, it doesn't make sense to use a big brush on a small pen like this. So make sure you buy the correct brush size. So this is our Versatile brush, Escoda Versatile. I will link all the brush in the video description. So it puts down a very nice wash. Now the nice thing about the Versatile is Because it tries to imitate the sable hair, it holds a lot of water, but it's not actually sable hair, so it's much cheaper, especially at large brush sizes like this. Now, if you compare a small brush like this, a Sable brush versus a versatile brush like this, the Sable brush is able to hold more water. However, when you compare a Sable brush and a versatile brush at this brush size, now there is not much difference between the amount of water they hold. However, the Sable brush is going to be much more expensive because there is a lot of hair here. So that's where the pricing difference comes in. So this is actually a very nice brush. Next up, I want to show you the Imitation Squirrel brush. This is also from Squirrel. This is a nice brush as well. It holds a lot of water, just like a real squirrel brush, but it's cheaper because it's Imitation Squirrel. I'm actually quite impressed by Squirrel as a company. They come out with all these interesting products. I mean, affordability, sometimes it can be a problem to people, so they have a good range of product, from the cheaper brushes to the more expensive brushes. But ultimately, it's about what you pay. So if you pay a higher price, then you get a better brush. But for synthetic imitation, I think they represent a very good deal in terms of value. So this is the Imitation Squirrel. This is also known as the Ultimo line. And lastly, I want to show you the Sable Brushes. These are the most expensive watercolor brushes. So I won't classify them under affordable, in the affordable range, because they are natural hair. They are very expensive, relatively speaking, compared to other brushes of the same size. So the one that I have here is the Usuri Sable from Da Vinci. This is size 12. For sable hair, when the brush size increases, the pricing also increases quite a bit. Actually, it increases much. The price increases much faster compared to the brush size. So the nice thing about sable hair is they are able to keep a sharp point. So you can create sharp points very easily, and they hold a lot of water, and they release water very well. So you can create a flat wash very easily. So what's the difference between this Sable versus the Squirrel? Well, if you want to create washes regularly, then the Squirrel is better. But if you want to do more detailed work, if you want a really all-rounded brush, then a Sable is the way to go. But again, it's a bit more expensive. And in terms of the ultimate affordable brush, I would say it's the water brush. The water brush that uses synthetic bristles. But synthetic bristles like this, they do not last very long. If I were to paint with this brush regularly, this probably would last me 1 to 2 months, and then I will have to change the brush again, because this hair really is not that durable. So if you can afford to spend a bit more, I would recommend you get a mixed hair brush. So to conclude, in terms of affordability, the cheapest and most affordable brush will be the synthetic brush. However, the downside is they are not as durable and they don't release water that well compared to the slightly more expensive brush. And next up in range will be the imitation brushes or the mixed hair brushes. Now this range of brushes, I think, represents the best value for money in terms of affordability, because when you use mixed hair, they actually mix with synthetic to give you that slight firmness. They also have some sable hair mixed in. Sometimes they use goat hair or squirrel hair. So every different type of hair that they use, the brush will have some characteristic of that hair, particular hair. So you get a nice all-rounded brush at a much affordable price. And the one that I would recommend is either the DaVinci Mix B brushes, the Mix F brushes, or the Escoda versatile brush. I know that's a lot of brands and brush numbers and series, so you just check in the video description for some of my recommendation and links. And lastly, the more expensive brushes will be the Sable Brush. And Sable Brush, for different brush manufacturers, they are all quite expensive, so that's not much difference, but you do get quality for the price you pay. However, if you are really budget conscious, then I would recommend the Imitation Brushes or the mixed hair brushes. If you're wondering whether or not it's necessary to get so many different types of brushes like round brushes, flat brushes, squirrel brushes, well, actually it's not that necessary. If you are budget conscious, I recommend just get a good round brush. That is the most versatile brush that you can get. That's all for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section, and remember to check out the video description for individual links to all the brush reviews. That's all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.